Beautiful people, what's happening? Today's gonna be outlandish. I'm gonna say some things. We got tiers, we're talking promos. This might be a dirty mic moment because we're throwing it back. If you didn't know what you clicked on, we have all the FIFA promos. We're gonna give you a history lesson. Broken, rank 1, foot champs, debatable in the pine. If you're new, it is free to subscribe and let me know your opinion. I'm gonna come in with hot takes. Carnival, I wish that we had more of this promo. I love the design. It was in that summer action. You had the South Americans, they were dancing, they were moving, they were partying, they were enjoying life. However, the only item that I remember is Neymar. Foot champs, specifically the red items, those rewards. It's gotta be top tier. I miss them. You have to miss them. I looked forward to the monthlies like you could not imagine, the guaranteed icon, the grind, but those red players, you had them, you used them, you could reinsert them. They were in the SBCs. Everything was integrated. They stood out. It was a bragging right. Regardless if I played with these guys, I wanted them. I missed them. I want the return of the red foot champs items, and I don't think I'm alone. Okay, Centurions, which we saw this year. I think we could have asked for more. There is relevance because it was released early on throughout the game cycle, but didn't feel that different, and it's because we've seen it before. Dynamic duo. I'll be completely honest. I swear I remember this promo, but I don't remember any of the players that came out with this promo, so it cannot be a good promo. End of an era. It's a beautiful thing. I hope that this continually lives on. Typically, when EA introduces these players that are heading into retirement or shifting in terms of their dominance, they'd be a cheaper or more affordable option from an SBC. And again, the narrative, which is important to me. The story, it makes sense. It's logical. It aligns with football. It aligns with the sport for most of us. FC Pro, that was a good addition. If you're unfamiliar, this year, brand spanking new, FC Pro included players that then were attached to professional FC players, and based on their performance, those players could improve. This is a unique introduction that now intersects. And it's something new. We haven't seen this before. Festival football. I'm going to have that joining Carnival. Flashbacks, one of the best promos we have, without a doubt. I'm tempted to put it into broken in terms of categories of hype and appreciation. Again, we often are remembering players at different moments of their careers, and we've seen all the big name players have these flashbacks, and they become involved in meta play. You can reintroduce them. Big fan. Footballers. I never hear this talked about, therefore I'm tossing it straight into the pine. Foot birthday to the top. Foot birthday Mbappe is the best striker that we have ever had in an installment or an iteration. And it was a fun promo, and we've seen it happen for years upon years. Foot birthday, it's there. Foot captain, I had to look this up. And even then, there wasn't that much to get hyped. Not really. Foot fantasy, off rip, I recall some items from Williams to the Saint. That Nani was always a fun item. That Martins, I'm throwing it into the debate because of some of the player selections, and I remember using and abusing vividly. This could be a hot take. I don't think that many people liked the ice versus fire, and I'll never forget the Adama Traore, for example, who had the two different items. I'm putting it into debate. I'm looking at the macro. Foot miss, please bring it back. I don't know what we have to do. Tell me who to talk to email, what to tweet. Is there a petition? Is there some paperwork we can sign up for? I want the resurgence. It made me happy. I'm also a festive individual. Footies, which I guess would also have to be rebranded, has had some iconic moments and items. I'll never forget if you truly throw it back, where he had Konoplyanka and Marco Royce. There was a tournament structure around Footies. It was a good moment. Again, good vibes, positive energy, top tier material. Future stars, potentially the most slept on or underappreciated promo of all the promos. I'm tempted. It might have to dabble a little bit. I'm doing it. I'm giving it the broken tier, the best of the best, the creme de la creme. I love this promo personally, and I've made a bunch of content, which you might have seen on some of the short form, including the YouTube, where we talk about players and their potential and evaluations and how they grew and they've reached that potential or faltered. And future stars, I would say almost half of the players in Ultimate Team went on to become something extracurricular. Even recently, top tier promo. Headliners, I don't know. Probably better than the Pine. I like the orange burst, the sunburst, if you will, off the item. Heroes, good money. I'm going to leave them into the foot champs. We also have the upgraded heroes. I'll actually give Marvel heroes even one more notch up. I like the upgrade. I love the dynamic images. It's a good sponsored inclusion. No spoilers, but there's going to be some that are not that. Icons and legends, if you date back quite a few years. I'm giving them rank 1 because we're seeing a lot of the same icons that are highly productive and the same icons that can't get into a rotation to save their life. I hate doing this. Libertadores should play a much bigger factor in the title. When have you ever used a Libertadores item? So why have a promo that can never be used, never be inserted, never be truly appreciated? It's a huge competition. The biggest competition in South America. Why not lean into that community? What a passionate group. You will always play at a disadvantage if you use a Libertadores item in the game. Level Up, that is the best design. When these were released, I had no idea what the promo was, just that I was all over the internet complimenting this design work. It just pops in the right way. Man of the match, I like the premise, but they were rarely ever usable. Player moments, we've had a few that have been really good. And for that reason, probably has to be foot champs. Movember, I love the design. I love the messaging. I don't think the items or the players were standoutish. I mean, it was a different time. When you think about this Movember promo, Ibrahimovic has to come to mind. And I wish that we would bring it back. Nike Mad, I still don't understand it. The item was green, but all the players had identical stats. 5, 6 players. I think it dealt with the pre-order, or you had a better chance of maybe packing these players or unlocking them, but it's hard to call it even a promo. Adidas Numbers Up, there could have been so much more. Easily forgotten. None of the players that were introduced had any usability. I'm assuming there was plenty of brand restriction. It just wasn't good. Ones to watch, classic. OTW would be allocated towards players that changed clubs and changed leagues. And then as they got upgraded, their one to watch item would also get upgraded. Some of these lasted for many, many months of upgrades and improvements. Good material. Player of the month, and I just put them all into this placement, whether it's La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, primarily, you name the league. It ties the actual pitch and the virtual pitch together. Player of the month. Radioactive, current promo that we're in. I don't like the card design. It's not easy on the eyes. It came out as a Christmas promo because it has the advent calendar inclusion. We have such a nice setup. The game releases. You should go into Halloween, then into Thanksgiving, Movember, into Footmas, holiday, good vibes, blessings, positivity, closing out the year, celebration, hugs, kisses, appreciation, gratitude. And you give me this. And you give me this! RTTK, Europa. Quite a few of these guys always end up being usable. Also gives you another reason to watch the Europa League to see if you're going to get upgrades. Not everybody's as invested comparatively to the Champions League, which RTTK has to be at least foot champs. The upgrades and the player usage depends who's available, how their teams do. But both of these items being related to the football side of everything, upgradable based on performance and how the team progresses. I like the promo, generally speaking. Rule breakers into the debate. I'm not sure that too many of you will sit on an island and co-sign this to the top or the utmost influence. There's going to be people that appreciate it. There's going to be other ones that maybe took a pass, but I think debatable is the right scenario. Shapeshifter, and this could be a very hot take. I appreciate the idea of trying something new, player access, and with last year in particular, it came out late, and now we had Petr Cech up front, which I know some of you said there's no realism to that, but at the end of the day, we're still playing a video game. But it was so late in the stages of the game that I felt like these unusual and unorthodox players shook it up a little bit, shook the room. We all used the players. We unlocked the SBCs. We spent the money on the marketplace. You had Virgil van Dijk in the midfield, maybe the best in the middies. On the competitive side of things, they sort of took over the game. I didn't even realize by the time we got to the World Finals how good a few of these items were. Showdown, and this is straight to foot champs. I like the idea of a couple players, clubs, upgrades, risk. You're anticipating a win and therefore being rewarded for your anticipation or your support. Also made everyone in the community tune into some of these matchups, which I like that as a collective. St. Patrick's Day, and I don't remember if they called this something different. You're going green. Am I just that festive? I think I am. It's not the best promo. You had all the Irish players. We knew that it was coming. They would rise in price. You would have the upgrades. I just like the time period. And again, it's a fun transition of seasons. The vibes are immaculate. You got green beer everywhere. You're giving people cheers, and it is what it is. Summer Heat. What a promo. Maybe I'm getting a little bit overly ambitious putting Summer Heat in rank 1. The promo, it's dialed. I didn't forget whatsoever. And because it's a late stage promo, that makes it even more impressive. Team of the season and team of the year. I'm going to have both of them in broken. I sort of prefer team of the year because there's less of them. We know that it's coming. It's the ultimate reward. It happens relatively early in the year. Therefore, you have endgame players in January. I like both of them for different reasons. Team of the year, you get the ultimate iconic players. And if you pack one, it makes you feel so good about yourself. And then team of the season, you get so many players that never had promos or have had maybe an inform or something light, get that major shift, that major upgrade, that final form, that Dragon Ball Z. Thunderstruck, I liked it. Am I tripping? Am I crazy? There wasn't a lot of hype on the promo. You did get Neymar, you got Vinicius Jr., you got some icons that changed. I like that the actual design or the item was animated, get little thunder strikes. Maybe I'm a sucker for that. I don't know. Triple threat. I feel like a hater, but I'm just throwing it into the pine. I'd be surprised if we see that promo going forward in FC 25. Trailblazers will join Rule Breakers in Debatable. Again, had some key items. It was an early promo. Maybe this promo was better than where I'm crediting. Jude Bellingham, Salah, Koundé, Mbappe, Griezmann. I liked Mkhitaryan, Hansen. Upon further inspection, Trailblazers is moving into Foot Champs, where it should have been. Trophy Titans. We're throwing this back. It was icons and heroes and upgrades, and there was definitely hype. Zinedine, Zidane, and all the icons with major upgrades. We also had Lucio. I think it was his 3rd upgrade of the season. Plenty of meta material. Trophy Titans had too many upgrades to not be in Foot Champs. The iconic plus heroic combination of players that disrupted the flow and guys that you had to have. Ultimate Dynasty was just released. I don't want to take away from it, but no excitement on my end. You had that new Holland who's high rated. If you really want, you could push it into the debatable. I don't think it would co-sign for the majority or for the macro and Foot Champs. Maybe to give it a little safety net, I'll go ahead and throw it into the debate. Ultimate Scream, I loved it. I loved everything about this promo. There was a fun aspect and quite the attribute. I actually think I'm going to pull it all the way up to broken. It wasn't the best players, didn't always have max longevity. The concept of how stats changed based on time periods was phenomenal. The design, elite levels. Some of the players that were really poor in certain areas, I'll never forget the Sergio Busquets. I'm sure that we all can resonate with that. Moments. It was monumental. What a time to be alive. Yes, that is a Halloween pun, even though I'm not into horror movies. No hack and slash on these streets. Winter Wildcard. It's a good promo. As much as I love Footmas and I would prefer Footmas, Winter Wildcard still made sense. And just to show you how much the game has changed, come with me. Just take a look at the ratings of some of these players. You had an 87 Dembele. You did have the 93 KDB, that Mendy. Official. Lockdown. Tamori. What an item. Butland. Unforgettable. Winter Wildcard was good. Last but not least, we have the World Cup, which, do we toss it into the pine? The World Cup was out of season. Therefore, EA didn't necessarily give the max upgrades because it would have been too early within the year, and it made it where a lot of the items didn't carry the same weight. I'm putting it into the pine, and I'm not sure that that's a hot take, but I remember the World Cup did not connect on the virtual side at all. From having a parallel to the sport, to the game, it was all missing. Shall we review? I can tell you off rip, I'm not moving anything from the pine. Some of y'all would not have Radioactive there. That might stick out for you. I just don't like the timing or the design of that promo. Rule Breakers could have a little movement if you really wanted. Same with Centurions. I don't believe today is one of those days where you start moving a bunch around. I'm going to go ahead and pull up level up to rank 1 just because I can do it. Therefore, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to double down. I'm not quite finished. And road to the knockout maybe deserves a little extra helping. We're still using those items as it stands, and that will continue for the next couple months. I'm not sure that I'm ready to put Winter Wildcard on the same level as Footmiss, even though the respect is there. Shapeshifter, I can already see you guys in the comments maybe not being on board with that movement. Some of the flashback items we've had, stellar. Every year we get flashback items. We don't get a ton of them, but some of the players that are re-released, top quality. I think I'm good with this. And with the broken category, the best category, this is reserved for my favorite promos. And as it stands, team of the season will have the hype. Team of the year, monumental. Foot champs, the red items. Transparently, I want them back. Foot birthday, Footmiss, future stars, which might be an unexpected choice for some of you. It's grown on me. An ultimate scream. What's right is right. What's good is good. I look forward to your comments. If you enjoyed the content, if you made it this far, you should definitely consider subscribing. I have a lot more coming out ASAP, and I appreciate all of you.